Good morning to you. Bozeman police are issuing a warning about a man hanging around Bozeman High. Coming up, why officers are concerned.
3 Marines leaving rough lives behind them are graduating to better futures. I'm Cody Boyer in Bozeman with their story.
That is a good story, too. We'll have that in just a moment. 6:30. Chad Lehman, Missy O'Malley, Matt Elwell on this really lovely Wednesday morning.
I'm not doing the dance.
You're going to do the dance.
Oh,
We're going to make you do the dance.
I've already done the dance. I'm done. It is a beautiful morning, a nice start to the day. Temperatures sitting into the 30s for most of the area. We may have some patchy fog. That may be our biggest issue that we have this morning. Maybe some ice on a few areas. Overall, we're above the freezing mark, but the bridges and overpasses, just use a little extra caution as you're driving around. Temperatures by the afternoon into the 40s, and we are setting the stage for a nice warm into the week. Oh, that looks fabulous. Just looking out there, a little fog in the foreground there as the sun's getting ready to head up. We're going to break down your complete forecast, of course, coming up in just a couple of minutes.
Thank you for that, Matt. Now, police in Bozeman have new information on a suspect seen interacting with students last week near Bozeman High School.
Police say the man approached 2 students near school property. They say he didn't touch them, but he did make inappropriate advances. Now, the incident happened at the roundabout on 15th and Beale. Police described the man as being older, thin, with a long red and gray beard. He was wearing a hat and sunglasses with green rims and a flannel shirt. Anyone with tips or any questions should contact either the school resource officer or Bozeman City Police.
And Yellowstone National Park is reporting a big drop in the number of visitors for the month of October.
Park says visitation was down 22% from a year ago. Park statistics show this year was also down 12% from the 5-year average.
Park officials are blaming it on the weather. Yep. They say several park entrances and some roads were even closed due to wintry weather. Other roads in the park were closed or restricted to 1 lane due to construction. And so far this year, the total number of people visiting Yellowstone is down 2.5% from last year and down about 1% from the 5-year average.
Now, until the winter season opens in mid-December, travel in the park right now limited to the road from Gardner to Cook City. Park Service warns that weather conditions can change quickly at this time of year, so be sure to check conditions on the park's website before visiting right now.
And here's a bizarre story. The Madison County Sheriff's Office is investigating a break-in at the National Fish Hatchery in Ennis. The incident involved vandalism and the killing of fish.
Officials say 2 people were driving a yellow ATV around the fish hatchery sometime on Sunday, October 27th. Employees at the hatchery notified management that someone had vandalized the property and killed multiple fish. Madison County Sheriff's Office says around 30 fish were killed. Some were even bludgeoned to death.
Very uncommon for us. I've never had a case since I've been here in the last 5 years that is even related to something similar to this. This is something that is definitely out of the blue for our county. Word gets out in small rural areas like this, so eventually, hopefully, we can figure out what direction to go and help with the pending case.
That investigation is ongoing. Madison County Sheriff's Office asking anyone with information to report it to them immediately.
And Montana's Fish and Wildlife Commission heard extensive testimony yesterday as members try to figure out if there should be any more restrictions for fishing on the Madison River.
But as MTN's Jonathan M. Barron reports, the commissioners say they need more input before making a final decision.
On Tuesday morning, dozens of people gathered at Montana Fish, Wildlife and Parks headquarters in Helena, where the Fish and Wildlife Commission held a hearing on proposals to address crowding on the Madison River. FWP data shows the number of anglers on the Madison has grown substantially in recent years, and some people are concerned that growth could have a negative impact on the river. On Tuesday, the commissioners heard testimony on petitions proposing new rules for the Madison. Some of them called for limits on outfitter trips, including setting some stretches aside for non-commercial use on certain days, and restricting boats in some areas.
The Madison River is 183 miles long. Let the wade fishermen and the fish have a little peace and quiet on these 2 stretches that equal less than 10% of this river.
But a number of Madison River outfitters and Ennis residents were on hand to oppose those proposed restrictions. They argued that closing some areas to boats would only worsen crowding elsewhere, and that limiting outfitting trips would be a threat to Ennis's economy.
We support any sound resource management. We do not support arbitrary use of restrictions targeting only non-resident fishermen who are the lifeblood and bringing the money into our communities.
In the end, the commission decided to reject all of the current petitions. Instead, they will take the proposals outlined in the petitions and seek additional comment before trying to put together a final package of potential rules.
And I think we understand, based on the comment and the engagement that flows from these petitions, what we need to be looking at and what we need to figure out.
In Helena, Jonathan Amberian, MTN News.
Now, Jonathan tells us FWP officials say they expect to put out a, quote, scoping document, end quote, out for public feedback as soon as next week. It likely wouldn't be until next year that any proposed rules would be released.
And Gallatin County District Court has a very special program to help veterans get their lives back on track.
MTN's Cody Boyer has more on this success story.
When you see the transformation, it makes it all worth it.
For any of the district courtrooms in the Gallatin County Law and Justice Center, clapping is a rare phenomenon. For these Marines, it comes after more than a year of effort.
They have to test at least 3 times per week for both drugs and alcohol. They have to attend treatment. They have to be either employed or in school.
It's been a life changer.
For enlisted Marine Sidney Jones, it was a broken road. Alcohol abuse leading to problems with his family.
The life lessons I've learned over the past 16 months, the friends I've made, the guidance I've gotten from the veterans team, it means a lot.
Along with fellow enlisted Marine Joe Bowman.
I have good mentors by my side to help me navigate the whole process.
Sergeant Michael Weber stood alongside them too, with his own battle behind him.
Hostility, anger, it drove me every day. Yeah, I survived.
For the 3 Marines, this goes further than just the courtroom, even the Law and Justice Center. This is a new lease on life, they say. And for one of them, he hopes to bring that back to future veterans to come. That would be Weber. He told a full room that he wants to get his LAC to become a licensed addiction counselor. As for Jones,
my girlfriend is now my wife. We celebrated our 1-year anniversary on Veterans Day. It's something that I'll remember for the rest of my life. I met Marines in this group that are going to be, close friends of mine for a long time, as long as we all live.
In Bozeman, Cody Boyer, MTN News.
That's just awesome. By the way, there are 4 veterans enrolled in the program right now, with another veteran planning to enroll next week.
Incredible. It's a lot of hard work.
Success story. I love that.
A lot of hard work. They're putting in the
No
time.
question.
That's great. And Bozeman Bridger Brewing says it's getting ready to open a second location.
Now this one will be near Three Forks, will include a music amphitheater.
Will also feature a grill, a brewery, a tap room, and a distribution facility. Groundbreaking is expected to take place the spring of 2020 along Highway 287 near the intersection of Interstate 90. Bridger Brewing says it is currently talking to a number of entertainment promoters to operate that music venue at their new site. Very exciting.
Very cool
there,
idea.
yeah.
Yep.
And with cold temperatures already setting in, the Coats for Kids program in Butte is in full swing and recently received some big donations.
Yeah, earlier this month, the Bridger Ski Foundation donated 25 coats to the program, which collects winter coats for needy children in the mining city.
So I like that we can spread it around to some of the children here in town that might be in need. And so it's a great program. And of course, Montana can be quite cold.
By the way, people can bring coats to this program, drop them off at the KXLF studios there on South Montana Street, big clock tower. We have a donation bin there.
Very cool. I love that idea.
Me too.
Lots of extra room to give at
Absolutely.
this time of year. Stay with us. It is time for a quick break. When Montana This Morning returns, we're going to head to Hong Kong to follow up in the nearly 5 months of protests.
But first, we're going to head to New York, check in with Gail King.
Good morning to you. Ahead on CBS This Morning, historic public impeachment hearings begin today. We've got team coverage to break down what to expect, what's at stake, and how the White House plans to fight back. They got a plan. And many Americans are waking up to yet another frigid morning. Oh no, we're tracking the record-breaking cold. We'll see you 7 o'clock on the dot.